Hello everyone and welcome back for another week of FMLPK. We're going to cover game week 17. Just a quick reminder, the deadline for this game week is 14th December, Saturday 4:30 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. And let's start with goalkeepers obviously first. I want to start with Nick Pope. An interesting statistic that has just popped up is that Opta calculates he should have conceded 22.2 goals this season when he has actually conceded 29 goals. You just mentioned that they have shipped 11 goals
in the last three
games, so he has to go. Now, if I talk about replacements, the first name on that list is Goita of Crystal Palace. Thing about Crystal Palace is that they have faced 7 teams so far this season out in the bottom half of the table, and of those 7 fixtures, they have kept 6 clean sheets.
They've kept 6 clean sheets already?
Yeah. Again, and all against bottom half tables, bottom half teams. So keeping that in mind, they play, Crystal Palace play 5 teams in the bottom half in the next coming game weeks. So I think he is the go-to guy now, in the short term at least. But I mean, if you wanna, he is 5 million. So that might be a deterrent for some people.
5.1 now.
5.1 now. So like that's the only thing that is sort of going against him. I still have Tom Heaton of Aston Villa. I'm going to keep him despite them playing horrendously, defensively speaking, of course. And another name that was popping up on my radar was your favorite, Matt Ryan.
I've had him since day one.
Yeah, and considering the fixtures till game week 38, you want either Ryan or Tom Heaton in your team because you can set and forget. But now how their backline performs will be a big factor. But I just cannot invest in a premium keeper right now. So these are the guys that
I think in premium it would probably be Schmeichel or Schmeichel. These two. The typical premium goalkeepers have a good performance.
Yes.
So the
Ederson,
they haven't been keeping as many clean sheets.
Goita in the last 3 game weeks has outperformed every the highest score.
And I think in the next 5 game weeks, he is going to be the highest performing goalkeeper.
They've got Brighton, Newcastle, West Ham, Southampton, Norwich. Those are a couple of clean sheets for sure.
So I've opted to use my wild card for next week. Yes, and I have dropped Nick Pope in favor of Anderson of Sheffield United.
And you haven't gotten Goita.
I have because I don't have the funds for that. Because I've gone with a stacked midfield, which we'll cover more later, but that pretty much covers it on the keepers front right now. So let's move on to defenders. As usual, we'll start the conversation with the Liverpool pair of Arnold Trent and Robertson. Obviously, both of them are very deadly on the wing. They create a lot of chances and stuff like that. An interesting thing about Alexander-Arnold Trent is that he has created 51 chances this season, and 3 more than what he had all of last season.
All of last season. And he got some crazy attacking returns last season.
Yes. So I think he's going to get some attacking returns going forward. Definitely.
Is it still at 7.2?
He is at 7.3 now. Yeah. So Robertson at 7.1. He's also come good off as late. He got a clean sheet in the last match.
No attacking returns.
No attacking returns, but definitely getting into those positions, stretching the defense, going forward a lot.
He isn't getting any attacking returns since I got him.
So I mean, if you guys have these 2 players on your team, you keep them. Despite the blanks, in my opinion. However, if you do need to move them and make some funds available, then I would look at Leicester assets for sure. And now in Leicester we have 3 guys. Let's start with the most expensive one first, Ricardo Pereira. He's getting penalty area touches a lot, but at his price, I feel like Chilwell
at 5.5
is a better option. 5.8. Chilwell is now 5.8. Yeah. So I feel like Chilwell unlucky not to get more attacking returns.
Is he still a doubt for the upcoming game?
I'm not sure. But for me, the main man in that defense is Seonchu.
Yeah.
I mean, he's at 5.1. He has been extremely unfortunate not to get a goal, in my opinion.
In the last game, yeah.
Yeah, in the last
He
game.
got a simple header which was saved by the goalkeeper 2 meters out. It's just crazy. But of the listed defenders, I wouldn't go for Chilwell. If I wanted an attacking return guy, I would take Pereira, and I have Pereira on my team. Otherwise, I would sell Pereira and get Seonchu.
Seonchu has 4 attempts from inside the 6-yard box in the last 6 games. No other defender can top that.
Wow.
So he's the man to have. He's a must-have in my opinion. Then let's move on to Aston Villa defensive assets. Now Aston Villa has been performing very poor defensively. Having said that, their fixtures for the remainder of the season are far more kinder than other teams. Like if I want to keep a defender, set and forget, and then I'm looking at from now game week 17 to game week 38, their fixtures are kinder than other teams. So keeping that in mind, 2 guys pop up. The first is El Mohammadi. He's 4.2 million. He's getting into good positions. He stretches the defense. He gets up the pitch a lot. He has 9 penalty area touches in the last 2 games.
Wow.
So, considering his price, I think he's the
Yeah,
guy. And I got him in my wildcard move. I have gotten him in place of Matt Target. Matt Target has been playing as well, but that 0.2 million differential is what I really needed. So,
I would rather get Kelly instead of.
so I have Kelly in my team as well.
Okay.
For the same reason that they're keeping a lot of clean sheets
Yeah.
against bottom half teams, and they play 5 of those teams. They play Brighton at home, Newcastle away, West Ham at home, and then Southampton and Norwich away. I see 3 clean sheets in there at least, if not all 5.
Two, yes. No, they won't get all 5.
Wishful thinking.
They're Norwich away. And Pookie started delivering better than he was.
I don't want to talk about Pookie right now.
And
It's
then
too
you've got
soon.
Ings, who's got 8 returns in the last 10 game weeks. So not so easy matches, but yes, there are some clean sheets.
So another team that has very kind fixtures for the remainder of the season are Brighton, and their defensive assets have been getting into those positions where they could score and get some attacking returns. The only thing is that they play poor defensively and don't have such a great clean sheet potential. Ideally, you want someone who gives you attacking returns and clean sheets, but that seems to be not happening this season.
Yeah.
But of there are some names that have popped up. Webster,
He's a good one. Yeah.
he's 4.5. He's the cheapest. I got him in place of Montoya in my wildcard. I think he's going to do well. They play Crystal Palace, who are abysmal going forward. So I see a clean sheet in there. Whether he plays or starts on the bench this week for me is what I have to see, but I have him on my team now. Then another name is Bum, is it? But he's 4.5 though. Who?
Yeah.
Of Brighton. He has 3 goal attempts in the last 2 game weeks. Webster has 4 goal attempts in the last 2 game weeks. And then there's Dunk, but at 4.7, it just doesn't make sense to have him. I'd rather have Webster. Then you just mentioned Kelly. I think he's a nailed-on starter right now. At 4.3, easy fixtures, clean sheet potential galore over here. Yeah, of all the names that I've said, I think if you don't have Kelly, that's the guy you get in your team. Definitely get in your team. Yeah. Then let's talk about some Sheffield assets. Lord Lundstrom, unlucky not to get any returns. The statistics suggest that there is more to come from him. But people
Are jumping the
are jumping and going into the direction of one Baldock. He's cheaper by 0.4 million. He's had some good attacking returns over the last 2-3 game weeks. But if you have Lundstrom, do you downgrade?
No, I mean,
Or do you change?
I wouldn't. I think the person to get in that price range would be Kelly. They've got really easy matches. Baldock, although he's gotten some great, he's got 4 attacking returns in the last 5 game weeks. But that's what Lundstrom was getting towards the start of the season.
My only concern with Sheffield is that in game week 20 and 21, which are back-to-back games, in quick succession, they play City and Liverpool.
Ooh.
So you won't be able to play any of your Sheffield assets.
Yeah.
However, considering how Sheffield have performed against the top half teams, it's like a big conundrum. I just don't know what to do.
I would probably think of changing Lundstrom to Baldock if I were wildcard.
Okay.
Otherwise, no.
Okay. Well, you didn't suggest that change to me last night when I was wildcarding.
They have Baldock.
No, I had Lundstrom. I still kept him.
Because you have Lundstrom at 4 million.
Yeah.
I
I would have taken a big hit. Yeah.
But lastly, Manchester United defenders. They're playing Watford this week and they're playing Newcastle next week. Maybe it's an experiment worth doing.
I don't think so. I just cannot endorse that at all. What about you?
Actually, you've forgotten they playing Everton, Watford, then Newcastle.
So, yeah,
Everton's been
I'm not
Resurgent as of late.
I'm not doing any changes this week. So I was thinking of that.
So the last name on my list is Ryan Bertrand. Murtaza pointed him out. He has been getting into some really dangerous positions.
And Southampton looked like they have a good fixture coming up.
West Ham United, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Crystal Palace.
Decent.
And teams that concede goals.
And he's 4.8, so we're debating that.
Yeah.
Take Kelly over 4.8.
From a purely price perspective, Kelly is the guy, Webster and El Mohammadi.
The budget one.
Is the budget ones. And Baldock, yeah.
So, in the defense, I think there's a great number of options in terms of cheap defenders with possible attacking returns
Right.
and possible clean sheets.
Right.
Baldock with attacking returns, Kelly with clean sheets are two.
Baldock has supplied 17 successful crosses this season, more than any other player in the Premier League.
More than Lundstrom.
More than Lundstrom.
So there you go. I mean, he's a great buy.
He's making a great case for himself right
Yeah.
now. Hard to ignore. But for those who have Lundstrom, must keep faith in him. For those who don't have Lundstrom and want to weigh into the Sheffield United team defensively, then perhaps Baldock is the
But
man.
if you still have a wildcard valid, you might think of changing Lundstrom to Baldock. If these are the
To
stats.
free up some funds, yeah. I could.
The guy who scored the most points this week had 3 Sheffield United defenders, 2 Crystal Palace defenders, and a Crystal Palace goalkeeper.
I don't think, but going forward, that's going to happen.
Yeah, of course. But of the two, as of right now, you would probably choose Baldock over Lundstrom.
So that pretty much covers it on the defensive end of things. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and join our league as well if you want to go up with some heavy hitters. And stay tuned.